What is your story of the week?
So I chose a story about business, so a little bit different from what we were just talking about, a little more serious. So the European Investment Bank is going to be pumping in some money for businesses, Polish businesses, but specifically companies run by women. So I thought that was really interesting. It's a really good initiative. The European Investment Bank really cares about equality, and so this is part of what they're trying to do is they're giving money to leasing companies in Poland to try to help women-led businesses. So two of the companies that received this grant is the Europejski Fundusz Leasingowy, which received €500 million, but only a portion of that will be used towards, that's kind of the one of the factors. So you will get the grant, but only if you give a portion to women-led businesses. So that was the condition. And the other company was PKO Leasing, which received €100 million, but this was also for projects that related to renewables, and 20% of that will be used for women-led companies. And I think this is an interesting topic in Poland because women do have this entrepreneurial spirit, but they do have some trouble receiving funding. So even though also I found out that 37% of companies are run by women, but what's not taken into account is a lot of these companies are just, they're self-employed. So it's not necessarily that they're running big corporations. So I think this kind of funding is another opportunity for them to finance something larger, invest in some equipment that they need. So it's just another tool that they can use to put towards businesses, because I think there's a lot of potential there. So if banks such as European Investment Bank is willing to, push forward, hopefully this will also inspire other funds to also invest in this as an initiative. So I'm looking forward to seeing what will come out of this in the future.
Well, the interesting thing about Poland is that one of the effects of communism has been that there's far more female managers than in
Absolutely,
Western
around
countries.
40%. It's actually really high, which is great, but we also want to encourage women to step out and start something on their own as well. But that's interesting too, because of the wars and the communism, women had to be in the workforce. What's concerning to me though is their participation rate is dropping. And I don't know if that's because of the government's initiatives to try to, start families, larger families, and if women are kind of stepping back from the workforce. But it is kind of below the EU standard. So I'm a little concerned about that if they're leaving the workplace. But I think that will show in the next few years.
Is that concerning to you, Paddy, that women are leaving the workforce?
I'll tell you one thing, I'm super amazed. I think it's like my constant thread around all these episodes. I love Polish women in the sense that I just admire them so much as individuals, as people collectively, and everything they've been through and everything they've done. And I was so surprised that one of the pleasant, maybe unintended consequences of communism was that everybody was equally poor and kind of
careful, Paddy.
in a kind of demographically statistical sense, that women were just much more represented.
Absolutely, and women are very well educated.
Yeah.
They're even more educated, I would say, than their male counterparts. So we should be trying to encourage them to, step forward. And
I just wonder, do you know offhand, Monica, if that's something that's also happening in other countries, that the participation in, we're talking about participation in business?
In general, in the overall workforce, I believe.
As a proportion of the overall workforce?
Yes.
Okay.
As the percentage.
Because I see there's a lot of events. There was even just, I think, a couple of days ago, Lewica Roku, so there's like Lioness of the Year or something like that. There's Sukces Pisano Śminką, I think, if I remember that rightly.
That was actually mentioned in another, the first news article that I read about female entrepreneurs. But you also have to remember that outside of cities, the stories could be a little bit different. So especially with, this additional funding for children, so it might look the story might be much different in smaller cities and towns.
No, it certainly is. There's no doubt about that.
Monica, would you ever set up your own business in Poland? You got like dreams about
I've considered it, and what's interesting? I know more female entrepreneurs in Poland than I did in the U.S. Personally. I don't know the statistics, but personally around me, I feel like there's a lot more funding and more opportunities to start something on your own here. And obviously the social packages and availability of healthcare and education, it's much easier to do that here. In America, you have a lot of bills to pay, and I don't think people want to take that risk. to start something on their own. They'd rather go to a company that will pay for, you know, their health care and everything like that.